allow, you can have more than one woman. So, if it doesn't work the first time, you can try again, and you can try again, and you can try again. But with us Christians, we only have one chance. So we must really get it right from the first time. Huh? It sounds a little logical. 2 weeks later, he was caught with a prostitute. And they had pictures of it. So obviously, if what he was saying is correct, then why would you be in need of being with a prostitute? If getting it right from the first time is what you're all about. An indication that talk is cheap. And only on the real ground, when you look into the real lifestyles of people and societies, only then you will understand that this is mercy from Allah to His creation. Because by default, there's a surplus of women, numbers of women versus men, all over the world. And if every time a woman is barren, doesn't have children, she's going to be divorced and find no one to marry her again, then we'll have a lot of problems in the society likewise. And if each man was to marry one woman, what do we do with the millions of sisters left upon earth? Sisters in humanity, that is, who will have no one to marry. So obviously, there's wisdom behind that. There's wisdom behind that. Third, hijab. The woman in the West, excuse me for this image, has become a sex object with which to sell products thereby, bumping up sexual tension of the society. If you want to buy a Gillette for shaving the beard, of course a Muslim man doesn't shave the beard, but if you want to do that, then you will have a woman shaving a man. And if you want to buy a pair of shoes, you'll see a woman wearing these basketball shoes. And if you want to buy a truck, they'll have a woman sitting in a truck. If you want to buy anything in the world, there must be some attractive woman associated with this product. Otherwise, it's not going to sell. Even candy. Why? Because this is what they have made of women. She's just being utilized. She's being misused, actually, for the benefit of economy and the people making money on the expense of her honor and her dignity. Something which Islam values a lot. The honor and the dignity of a woman is very much valued in Islam, where there is no other religion on earth which gives her the same equal values. And this was 1400 years ago, before there were women's rights and all these things that you hear about today, trying to give women rights. Women were given rights way before. During Jahiliyyah, she had no inheritance. With Islam, she could inherit. During Jahiliyyah, they would be disgraced if a woman is born. They would kill her alive. Even today in India and in China, they continue to kill girls, baby girls, infants, because they need someone. In China, you're only allowed to have one son or one child. So obviously they prefer a man who's going to help them in the future. So if the woman comes, they pay some money, get rid of her. Similar things are being done in India. So obviously, a woman was not really given much rights. At some era in Christianity, they used to actually have meetings to discuss whether a woman had a soul or not. Does a woman have a soul? Because they accuse her of being the devil who caused Adam to sin, thus get kicked out from paradise. Thus all of the troubles of the world are because of women. And Islam came and destroyed all of these ignorant understandings of things and gave women rights which she did not have before. If divorce was as easy as saying you're divorced, then women would be in trouble. But Islam gave her rights. It is not as easy as making a statement. There are conditions and guidelines which need to be met. So all these are among the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the Muslim woman. So the Muslim woman should observe these things, be honored by them, and the non-Muslim sisters of humanity upon earth should recognize that Islam is the only place where they will get the full protection that they are seeking. And we will see later on in the presentation some statistics about the dangers of not following the rulings and regulations of Islam. Molestation of women on a national scale is very common in the West. Check this out. Look at this graph. Per year, the cases of molestation in the United States were 95,000. That's a lot. Look at the bottom at Saudi Arabia. 59. per year. 59. I'm sorry, this is 95 million and 136,000, right? Yeah. And in Saudi Arabia, 59. Why? It has something, look at the countries, by the way, we mentioned the Muslim countries at the bottom. That's why you see 1, 2, 3, then at 10 it goes to 26. Because Indonesia, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Yemen, and Saudi Arabia are pretty much predominantly Muslim countries. And look at the cases versus the Western countries. Why? Because of the hijab. Because when a man who's sick in his heart sees a woman walking down the street fully covered, he's going to think she's boring. And that's victory right there. That's victory right there. Oh, how boring. Good. So mind your business. And she will mind her business. But when it's the other way around, when a woman is walking down showing her adornment, you know, her finery, and everything that Allah gave her, and things that Allah didn't give her but she bought from outside, and put them on herself, and she walked down the street, obviously, she's not going to get the same reaction from a man who's sick in the heart. He will try to make advancements. If she agrees, then we are corrupting the society through fornication. If she disagrees, he is stronger than her, he may overpower her, and then she'll be a victim of rape. Now this is not just words I'm speaking, these are facts that the human beings are living today. These are facts. In the United States, every 90 seconds, a woman is raped, every minute and a half. If you go to the universities, every 10 feet, there's a telephone booth for emergency police, just in case the guy came between these two booths. She will be able to run to the phone booth and call the police. Help! Just look at the news. Every day, this is happening. But in Islam, when Allah legislated that the Muslim woman shall cover herself as Mary, the mother of Jesus, used to cover herself, then this did away with many problems in the society, and the harassment and the molestation of women became almost seldom, almost rare, because of that wise ruling from Allah Azza wa Jalla. But only people of understanding recognize the wisdom. People who lack understanding, they say, this is oppression, man. You're oppressing the woman. Let her go. Why? So you can enjoy looking at her? Why? This is liberation. Oppression is when every time she walks down the street, she has to deal with men staring at her from the moment she walks in front of them until she leaves. Someone whistling at her. Someone screaming at her. Someone kidnapping her. That's oppression. Liberation is when she is left alone. And this is what Islam provides. Alhamdulillah. This is just the source for this particular United Nations survey. The hijab is to make the Muslim woman known in the society as a virtuous and honorable woman. Yeah. Do Muslims worship the Kaaba? Many non-Muslims have this misconception. They see on the TV that all the Muslims are, doing tawaf around the Kaaba and they do sujood. Say, okay, so this is God, this is Allah. They don't say Allah, they say Allah. This is Allah. Obviously, it's not. So we must, sometimes you think that this is common knowledge to us, but to the non-Muslims it may not be the case. Do the Muslims worship the Kaaba? No way. The Kaaba is simply a qibla, a direction where Muslims face during their prayers. Before it used to be Masjid al-Aqsa in Palestine, then the Prophet Muhammad was directed to turn towards Kaaba, as Allah says in the Quran, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهَكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ وَحَيْثُمَا كُنْتُمْ فَوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ شَطْرَهُ. We have certainly seen the turning of your face, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, toward the heaven, seeking that revelation to turn. And we will surely turn you to a qibla with which you will be pleased. So turn your face toward Al-Masjid Al-Haram, which is the Kaaba, and wherever you believers are, turn your faces towards it in prayer. So obviously, it is not an object of worship, it is a place of worship.